wall against racism for generations to come.
Worst foreign relations. That is a horrific tie between the apparent slaughter of a Washington Post columnist at the hands of Saudi agents in Turkey and the poisoning attacks on a former Russian spy and his daughter in the United Kingdom.
I mean, it's a shocking thing to think that Russian agents are poisoning people out on the streets in England.
If you were writing a movie and you put this in it, the editors would send it back to you and say, that is not realistic. Tone it down a little bit.
And best Hollywood ending to what could have been the worst story when those Thai soccer players and their coach went caving and became trapped by rising waters. Rescue seemed impossible.
I feel like it should be made into a movie now, because it's an amazing story.
But after days of planning and racing the rain, divers brought them all out through a tiny, twisting underwater passage, safe and sound.
The one man who died in the process of trying to get to the boys, I believe, like the picture that they took afterward with all the boys around his picture, I was just sobbing.
You know, stories like that are, we really need those in the world right now. Duckies, bunnies, and rescuing children. Just bring it all on.
Well, we're going to bring it all on in just a few moments when we take a look at some of the jaw-dropping moments from the wild world of sports. We'll take a look at the shows that soared.
I don't know what's real and what's not.
And those that soured.
I thought you were dead.
Why does everybody else think I'm dead?
And later, the best moments in pop culture, the worst in politics, and an out-of-this-world parking job. It's all the best, all the worst. 2018.
All the best, all the worst 2018. Brought to you by Subaru. Share the love this New Year's Eve. Go to CNNHeroes.com to donate to everyday people who are changing the world. Subaru will match your donation dollar for dollar.
Let's talk about it.
In the whole wide world of sports, the best shootout came in the Super Bowl, one of the highest scoring championships of all time. The underdog Philadelphia Eagles soared over the New England Patriots. And in the current season, despite some of the worst scandals and fan complaints,
They're over officiating, I think, officially at this point.
there have been enough record-breaking accomplishments to keep football America's most popular sport.
As a person still technically in my 40s, as I look at Drew Brees, I put a smile on my face and I say, all things are possible. Isn't it amazing?
Best consolation prize for the city of Boston.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. The Red Sox won the World Series. Did you know that?
The Sox walloped the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Red Sox went 86 years without winning a World Series. Now they can't go like 5 years without winning a World Series.
Then a fan clobbered the trophy with a beer can.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Other sports?
Basketball is absolutely the most important sport in the world.
In the NBA championship, the Golden State Warriors clashed with the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 4th year in a row and swept them off the court. Then King LeBron James abdicated, instantly leaving Cleveland for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and predict this was the last year for a while that it's going to be the Warriors versus the Cavs.
Pretty safe bet.
In hockey, the Golden Knights reached the Stanley Cup Finals in the team's first year.
There's one city I associate with ice. It's Las Vegas, Nevada.
But all the glitz could not hold off the smash-mouth play of the Washington Capitals, who took the Stanley Cup with a smile.
Dentists like hockey, I would think. They seem to make a lot of money off of it.
Best freeze-out, the Winter Olympics in South Korea.
I love figure skating. I think it's super beautiful. I mean, Men in Tights is always a good excuse to watch TV, wig or no wig.
Best participation trophy. Give it to Elizabeth Swaney, who made Hungary's ski team sort of on a technicality, and it looked like it.
I've actually never related more to an athlete than when that woman, the Hungarian woman, got in the half pipe and just like skied down it normally.
Best plan in the long run. Kenyan Eliud Kipchoge set a new world marathon record in Berlin, running it in an absurd 2 hours, 1 minute, and 39 seconds. And in a freezing, wet, windy Boston Marathon, Des Linden became the first American woman to win in more than 30 years. Best horsing around. Justify trotted off with the Triple Crown. Worst lane change. The great Danica Patrick retired from auto racing.
It was good for the sport to have her in there.
Best kick in the France. The French team booted Croatia to take the World Cup.
I went to a bar and watched it, and I was surrounded by screaming, sweaty, drunk, hot Englishmen, and that I love the World Cup now.
Best way to stand up for working moms. The legendary Serena Williams came back from maternity leave and was still legendary.
She is one of the greatest athletes, period. So just apologize if you even put female in front of that.
Best case for flipping out. Simone Biles dominating the U.S. and World Gymnastics Championships.
And was so good that she fell down and still won.
Worst prediction. Anyone who said Tiger Woods was finished before this year. And best comeback without even suiting up, Colin Kaepernick. No team has wanted him since he launched the NFL protest against police treatment of minorities, but Nike chose to feature him in their new ad campaign.
I think that's amazing. I love brands that will get behind what's right.
It's not about the flag. It was one of the most respectful protests ever.
I love that athletes are talking about reality.
Let's turn from sports to another favorite pastime now, watching television. It's true. For all of the laptops, tablets, and phones out there, most households still have the TV on close to 8 hours a day. And that meant some very big numbers for some news shows and for one old favorite in particular. It all started with The Big Bang Theory a decade ago, and now Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, and the gang are sizzling through their final season. I've got magic to do. With the best mix of comedy and science to keep their ratings astronomically high.
Also, no talk of Rocky IV.
Why Rocky IV?
Because he fights a Russian. I'm sorry about her.
Mrs. Pearson, we are so sorry.
But then plenty of amazing shows were in orbit this year. This Is Us, NCIS, Bull, Blue Bloods, and more stood out on the major networks. But some of the biggest buzz was for shows on other outlets. The remarkable Atlanta.
You staying?
Damn, is you the landlord or something?
The riveting Riverdale.
It was all some kind of test.
And you passed. Welcome to the family, Archie.
Which is campy and fun and dark and secretly terrifying.
Your depraved gambits are finished. No more evil is over. Look me in the eye and tell me that you've never lied to us about anything. Have you killed other people? We do not kill people.
Okay, guys, that's it. Please, to school, learning.
The second season of Ozark.
Sort of brings me back to what I really loved about Breaking Bad, except it's set in the hillbilly woods of the Ozarks.
You just hand me over to Mayday and you don't know?
I'm trying to keep you alive. You and our baby. I'm helping you.
And The Handmaid's Tale terrified once again.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. It got too real.
Reality and competition shows showed no signs of dying out. Dancing with the Stars, The Voice, Ellen's Game of Games.
Obsessed with the Great British Baking Show. Obsessed.
What are you holding?
A baby.
Oh, I thought it was something else.
Leave me alone. No, he's not, you're not involved in this.
I love Shark Tank. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed with Shark Tank. It makes me feel like I could do anything.
Sold. We got a deal.
Work it.
And the best counterculture success story still going strong, Drag Race, which is sweeping up awards like sequins.
So, the biggest congrats to RuPaul. I know she's worked super hard, and she deserves this. We deserve this, okay?
I can't feel anything happy.
Best surprise creeping around an old mansion, The Haunting of Hill House.
There's a great deal you don't know about your son.
Worst real-life character to give you nightmares, Andrew Cunanan in The Assassination of Gianni Versace.
I can't do this.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina cast a fun spell.
But it's dark, and I liked how dark it got.
Baby, you are our secret weapon.
And Pose struck a chord too.
I think everyone should watch it. It's incredible.
Real beauty is on the inside.
Close your colon. That's packed with crap.
They did a show called Big Mouth, which was about teenagers coming of age and their puberty and so on, and it was just hilarious.
We have been waiting for someone worthy of our